Yo, listen up, got a tale to tell about a young shepherd boy and a giant who fell. David was his name, not a warrior in sight, but he had heart, soul, and a fight that was tight. In the valley of Elah, tension was high. Goliath stood tall, his shadow covered the sky. Who'll face me? He roared with a laugh so cruel, but the army. Yo, listen up, got a tale to tell about a young shepherd boy and a giant who fell. David was his name, not a warrior in sight, but he had heart, soul, and a fight that was tight. In the valley of Elah, tension was high. Goliath stood tall, his shadow covered the sky. Who'll face me? He roared with a laugh so cruel, but the army. Yo, listen up, got a tale to tell about a young shepherd boy and a giant who fell. David was his name, not a warrior in sight, but he had heart, soul, and a fight that was tight. In the valley of Elah, tension was high. Goliath stood tall, his shadow covered the sky. Who'll face me? He roared with a laugh so cruel, but the army.
Welcome to It's Happening, the Unseen Realm. My name is Jared, and today is kind of like a mixed episode that I can do. I was trying to find something to really do it on. Trying to make sure everything's working. Sorry, guys. I don't have, I need a better setup than this. All right. I think it's good. All right. We have the live chat up, guys. If you want to chat with us, we will talk back and forth with you. Sometimes there is a big lag in between when you comment and when I see it. If that happens, I apologize. Sometimes it kind of throws me off and makes me not completely understand the question. So just so you guys know, if you do comment, there is a lag in between. I am actually probably 30 seconds ahead of where you guys are at, from what I'm learning anyways. All right. So like I said, this one really could have been a mixed episode between what I normally do and trying to show you guys how the media manipulates us and how they constantly tell you exactly what they're doing. This is just a good fitting story on that. And I needed to do another episode on the Unseen Realm anyways. So this worked. We know for a fact, looking back at history, the history of our country, how the CIA, created Project Mockingbird to do with the media and to produce mass propaganda to manipulate people without even realize they are being manipulated. And they are very, very good at it. So I caught this story the other day, and I've just been kind of watching it and seeing how they roll with it and what it's going to turn into. There's supposedly a new mental illness going around that will cause you to see demon faces. And if that does, well, they know exactly what's going on, and you should listen to the experts. We all know what listening to the experts have got us over the last few years. So if you're like me and you listen to the experts, but you're smart enough to ask a few questions, well, you're in for a rough road. I'm telling you, you get attacked left and right for daring to even bring up questions. How dare you? We told you the narrative. Now go with it and do what you're told, or else. I mean, we've all seen all of it over the last few years. So let me just go ahead and pull, you know what? Have you guys read this book, The Unseen Realm? Part of the reason I started this whole channel was this book, Michael S. Hauser. I'm going to read some of this before I pull up some of that. Okay, I'm going to try my best to connect the two. And again, these are all opinions, guys. These are my opinions. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. I get things wrong all the time. I have no issue saying that. Why does it still say beyond soon? My bad. Um, Again, these are my opinions from the research that I have done and from things that I continually see happening in patterns. That's all. If you have a different opinion, I have the live chat up and I'd love to hear it. All right. So I'm going to read some of this real quick and then I'll pull up the condition in the videos. It says first, many Christians claim to be in the supernatural, to believe in the supernatural. Sorry about that. But think and live like skeptics. We find talk of the supernatural world uncomfortable. This is typical of denominations and evangelical congregations outside the charismatic movement. And in other words, those from a background like I grew up in. There are two basic reasons why non charismatics tend to close the door on the supernatural world. One is their suspicion that charismatic practices are detached from sound exegesis of Scripture. As a biblical scholar, it's easy for me to agree with that suspicion. But over time, it has widely degenerated into a closed minded overreaction that is self detached from the worldview of biblical writers. The other reason is less self congratulatorial. I'm still working on reading out loud. Congratulatorial. Sorry, my bad. The believing church is bending under the weight of its own rationalism, a modern worldview that would be foreign to the biblical writers. Traditional Christian teaching has for centuries kept the unseen world at an arm's length. We believe in the Godhead because there's no point to Christianity without it. The rest of the unseen world is handled with a whisper or a chuckle. The second series shortcoming is evident within the charismatic movement, the elevation of experience over Scripture. While that movement is predisposed to embrace the idea of an animate supernatural world, its conception of that world is framed largely by experience and an idiosyncratic, I think I got that right, reading of the book of Acts. Those two shortcomings, while seemingly different, are actually born of the same fundamental underlying problem. Modern Christianity's views of the unseen world isn't framed by the ancient worldview of the actual biblical writers. One segment wrongly consigns the invisible realm to the periphery of logical discussion. The other is so busy seeking some interaction with it that it has become unconcerned with its biblical moorings. Moorings, Moorings, resulting in a caricature. I'm concerned about both shortcomings, but since this book derives from his own story, the problem of the Christian skeptic hits closer to home and is his greater concern. If your background is like mine in the evangelical, non-charismatic branch of the Protestantism, I probably said that wrong, but you guys get it. Perhaps you consider yourself an exception to the patterns I've identified, or you think that I've overstated the situation. But what would you think if a Christian friend confided to you that he believed he had been helped by a guardian angel? Seriously asking that question. If you're watching this episode, what would you personally think about that for a minute? If a Christian friend confided in you that he believed he had been helped by a guardian angel, or that he had audibly heard a disembodied voice warning him of some danger. What if your friend claimed to have witnessed demonic possession or was convinced that God had directed her life through a dream that included an appearance of Jesus? All of those are questions I want you to think about. Most of us non-charismatics would have to admit that our initial impulse would be to doubt, but we actually have less transparent reflux. We would nod our head and listen politely to our friend's fervent story, but the whole time we would be seeking other possible explanations. I know I do that. Do you? I know I've had multiple conversations with people that are somebody is trying to tell me things that they have been dealing with, and while they're doing it, in my mind, I am trying to logically create logic around that scenario and make my mind comprehend or understand it when we cannot even begin to comprehend his ways. We constantly, like the book talks about, we constantly talk. Oh, I'm sorry. Talk about believing. I kind of spit on my microphone. Not bad. Talk about believing in God, in the supernatural world or realms. But like he said, we won't dare talk about it. Because if we talk about it, everybody's going to think you're a conspiracy theorist. Everybody will think you need to go to a mental hospital. But yet, everybody walks around with their Bible, sure believing in a supernatural God now, don't they? Who came to this earth and did supernatural miracles, walked on water, supernatural healings, died, tortured, went down into hell, and rose again. These are our beliefs, right? Why is it so difficult for us to then think that what I am about to show you is nothing more than media manipulation used by the CIA to get out in front of something that may be coming? I'm curious. What do you think, guys? So I'm going to go ahead and pull up what the condition is they are calling it. You know what? I wonder if I should do the video first. No, I'll show you the condition. Let's show you that real quick. All right. So over the last 4 days, there's been multiple news stories on this, and more and more and more. It's growing. So if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure you will soon. Let's see. I just Googled it. Let's make sure you guys can see that. All right. So this is on Google. You got here. I'll tell you what. That's better. All right. So a rare disorder causes man to see people's faces as demonic. Rare disorder makes people see demonic faces. A man with a metamorphosia shares the distorted demon faces. The extremely rare neurological condition makes faces appear distorted. As you can see, the faces at the top of the screen. All right, so you see that there are multiple NBC, thepeople.com, CNN, Smithsonian, Science Alert, news.sky.com. This is not just one. This is why I wanted to show you this first. Yahoo.com, medicalexpress.com. And you can even see the dates that all of these are posted, guys, so you know I'm not making it up. Healthday.com. All right, so let's go over to TikTok and watch the actual first. This was the first news story I came across. And again, let's not forget, we know the CIA created Project Mockingbird to use the media to manipulate the masses. That's a fact. Whether you believe it or not doesn't matter. It's a fact. They did it, and they are still doing it to us. So think about that. While I pull this up, listen to how they lead you. They don't come on and give you the facts of a story and say, you know what, guys, I'm going to leave this up to you to decide. I'm going to tell you my opinions on it. And then I'm going to say, you guys should dig deeper and absolutely make this choice for yourself. Just listen to how they lead into it. And then they lead into what the problem is so you don't ask questions. This is exactly how they manipulate everybody, even me. I showed you a story the other day, and I'm constantly watching this. I'm constantly in this all the time. So trust me, I'm not belittling anybody by saying they manipulate us. They do it to all of us. And for any one of us to say that it is not going on, well, we're just lying to ourselves at this point. You just want to believe so badly, so deeply that America wouldn't do that. Yes, they would. Check this out. Like I said, guys, and remember those questions that I read that I asked. Why is it so difficult for people who say they believe in a supernatural God to believe in the supernatural? Why is it so difficult for us to talk about? Why do I get looked at as a conspiracy theorist for bringing up what is written about in the Bible? Maybe you guys have a better answer than I do. I'm serious questions. I have a live chat up if you'd like to tell me. I'll go ahead and pull this video up and let's talk about it, guys. But like I said, you'll remember how he leads the whole time. You'll see what I mean.
Imagine your vision is totally normal, and then one day you see demonic features everywhere on people only, just like this, what you see behind me. Now, that's a reality for a man named Victor Shera. He has extremely rare yet terrifying disorder called PMO, now known because people didn't know about it at first. It's called the demon face syndrome.
See that? You see that? Guys, I'm surely trying to teach y'all how I was taught to start looking at these things. It wasn't easy for me at first either to admit that on a mass scale we're being lied to and manipulated. But did you hear how he said he's trying to prepare the story, prepare the scenario and the outcome so you don't have to think for yourself.
People with the condition see parts of other people's faces distorted in shape, texture, position, or color. For Shera, that means grotesque, grimace, elongated eyes, and deeply etched scars. Also, pointed ears. There are 75 known cases of the disorder.
People will be terrified at what they see coming upon the earth, for the powers in the heavens will be shaken.
And this condition, we're told, is called demon face syndrome. Now, it's when an individual sees someone and their face seems distorted, almost satanic, demon-like. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
And the earth has been infiltrated with fallen angels. I'm telling you, God honest truth, there's a time coming where a lot of people that's been mocking at and calling brothers and sisters conspiracy theorists are trying to tell y'all the real raw truth about planet Earth. Now it's seeping out of the edges slowly. They're slowly getting y'all ready for this, where these name of the Most High. These demonic entities are tired of hiding. The Matrix called people that's telling real raw truth, conspiracy theorists, so that the masses won't look at this like, wait, this is real raw truth. The Bible talks about this. The Apocrypha talks about this. Every religious book, whether people say it's false or not, talk about our planet being infiltrated by these creatures. I'm telling you, God honest, there's going to be plenty of brothers when these fallen angels, the Almighty allow these fallen angels to disclose their true form in front of humanity, where these name of the Most High. It's going to be a lot of brothers swole. Go to the gym. You got hands on your head. This is what I told one of my family members in the car. I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot of brothers that was tough walking with their chest out like this. All that pride and all that arrogance is going to completely get punctured and swallowed up with fear and anxiety when you guys see what these fallen angels really look like. This is what I'm trying to tell you right here. It's a lot of brothers and sisters that are still blind. It's a lot of brothers and sisters that see the movies. They show you in the movies. They show you in the cartoons. But it's a lot of brothers and sisters that really believe, they can't do that. If the government ever does that, we'll sue them. They can get in trouble for that. Y'all don't understand where these name of the Most High. The government isn't in control. The fallen angels are in control, and they're tired of hiding and assuming human form. They want to show themselves. And when this thing hit the fan, it's a lot of you guys are going to be unprepared for it. And that's why the Bible says that men's heart, women, men, people in a whole, your heart gonna fail from fear and anxiety once you see these creatures that are coming upon the earth. We tried to tell you, I'm telling you, God honestly, it's gonna be a time, and a lot of you guys are gonna be seeking out so-called quote unquote conspiracy theories to know what the next move is, what's gonna happen next, Pick your Bible up and try to figure it out. Get closer to the Almighty. I'm telling you, God honestly, it's gonna be a lot of people that will not have escape routes for them when the Most High show the people on planet Earth what's really going down here on your planet, where this name of the Most High. Then you're gonna be calling conspiracy theorists truthers. You're gonna be
okay, guys. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize this guy took it over. That is our Cade the Eject on TikTok. I'm sorry, that was not the video. It was part of the video. The video I wanted to play was just the news part. But this guy did a good job talking about it a little bit. So, what do you guys think? Is this just mental illness that we've had all along, and that now that things are getting really, really heated in this world that we live in, Now it's important to let you know about it. Now it's important to come out with the mental condition's name to prepare you for it. I sure know since I have started the journey that I am on in seeking God, I've had a lot of strange things happening around me. I have absolutely went from not believing in supernatural things to thinking it was nothing more than nonsense that we saw in movies, that there was no way that any of this stuff could be real. So there's no doubt in my mind it's happening. So I get it. And that's not something easy to do. It's not easy at all. I'm not saying the transition into seeing and believing into these things was even close to easy for me. I fought with it and fought with it and held it back. I made up excuses for things that were happening around me, for things that I continually saw, for things that, for people that God put in my life that opened up to me about strange things. I continually ignored these things over and over and over again and brushed them off as it just couldn't be. There's no way, right? There's no way. I think there is a way. Here, look, let me see if I can find the regular news video because the regular one is good. Hold on one second. Let me just search real quick. I'll tell you what. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I should have did this beforehand. I thought that was the right video. So let me do this. Let me find the I want you to watch the whole how they manipulate. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Give me 1 second. So how y'all doing today? Do y'all believe me? Do y'all think it's nonsense?
Censored. Here's the weird stuff I love. Imagine your vision is totally normal, and then one day you see demonic features everywhere on people only, just like this, what you see behind me. Now, that's a reality for a man named Victor Shera. He has extremely rare yet terrifying disorder called PMO, and it's commonly known as, or now known because people didn't know about it at first. It's called the demon face syndrome. People with the condition see parts of other people's faces distorted in shape, texture, position, or color. For Shera, that means grotesque, grimace, elongated eyes, and deeply etched scars. Also, pointed ears. There are 75 known cases of the disorder. My next guest, well, we talk about it, and he is censored. Here's
my bad. That is Soul Gather Thinking 888. Soul Gather Thinking. Yeah, it's how they spell some of this stuff. It's interesting. Anyways, if you want to go follow him, you should definitely go follow him. That's on TikTok. So yeah, like I said, we know for a fact, going all the way back to MK Ultra to Project Mockingbird, that our government uses the media to manipulate the masses. Is this another one of those things? Are they manipulating us? Are they giving us some truth and twisting the rest? Are they even telling the truth to begin with? Is it fear propaganda and they want you to be afraid? Is it they want us to be on that same fear frequency so they can feed off our energy? I don't know. I really don't know at this point. I know what I believe and what I've come to believe, and the more and more that I dig into this stuff, I believe it. I believe it's not only real, they know it's coming, and they are trying like hell to make up excuses so you won't open your eyes to see what's going on around you every day. How we absolutely live in a supernatural world. Because if those things become true in your mind, then this is true, right? Then God becomes even that more real to you. And you stop being manipulated by them. We know the book tells us that the evil one runs the world, that we are the principalities thing. Here, I'll pull it up real quick and show you before I get off of here real quick. Like I said, guys, I could be wrong on this. This is just my opinion from things that I've learned over time. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up for y'all. Let me find a better version of it. There is an older version. They've changed it a few times since King James, I believe, the scripture I'm about to read, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it up in the NIV anyways. But I will tell you the part if it's changed, where it was changed, and you can believe me or not. That's up to you. But let me go down here. It says, finally, let me see if y'all can see that. I'm sorry, I didn't even share it with y'all. My bad. Let me get back to that. I pulled it up to share it with you. Here we go. Let me see if y'all can see that. All right, good. All right. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers and against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. It's right there. Here, let me read it again. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers. And I think the other translation was the worldly rulers. It was flat out telling you that our fight is against those in power in our different countries. And I think King James switched that. Maybe you guys know a little bit more about that than me. I've just recently started studying. So if you know more about that, I do know that at some point that specific part was taken out or changed to manipulate how you view the rulers of this world. But that is our fight. And it even ends with this dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. So there you have it. Is it a mental condition? Or is it we are living in times where things are going to become more clear to those who ask questions, where things are going to become more clear to the true believers who absolutely believe, and where even believers will be manipulated? Are we at that time? I'm curious to what you guys think. For real. Is this something true, or is it being spun to manipulate us for something that is coming? I'm curious to your thoughts on that. Again, guys, this book, if you're like me, I'll say that, if you're like me, and although you've been to church most of your life, you went when you were younger, you've studied the Bible here and there, but something inside you has always been off. Like it didn't fit, like it was, or being forced fit. I don't know how to describe it. There was something going on in my mind before I read this book. And when I started reading this book, it opened my eyes to a lot of how the Bible was supposed to be taught to us. How we have taken the supernatural realm out of the Bible because movies have been convincing people all along that it's nonsense. Science will convince you that it's nonsense while they openly tell us they're UFOs, But no, the supernatural is nonsense, guys. Only that's been around since, World War II and probably a lot longer. Sure opens up a lot of questions now, doesn't it? Are these fallen angels trying to convince you of what you're about to see, or what you could possibly see coming in the near future, and want you to believe that you have some kind of mental disorder, and they're already forcing people into a situation to where when they're walking down the street, if this happens to them, now they won't speak about it at all. For me, that's what I think is going on. I truly believe with all my heart that the CIA and the propaganda machine are trying to silence you because they don't want you to speak out when you start to see things like this. So they gear it up, they bring it out in the media, they start letting media companies put stories and stories and stories and stories. They never point to, but hold on a minute, all this was told to us that it was going to happen. All of it. It's all in there. It's all in some of the books that they have taken out of the Bible. It's all there. They just don't want you to believe it. They don't want you to know it's true. They fight so hard to get us to believe in them instead of in God. Look at our government, for Christ. Look at everything they do. It is against God. They kicked God out a long, long time ago. Those people that are in power in our country want nothing to do with God. They want their God. They want to be God. Again, these are just my opinions for things that I've learned. If you want to challenge me on them, I'd love to talk with you about them. I would love to learn more from you and your thoughts and your opinions on this. Am I just losing my mind on it? Am I going crazy? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I am, guys. Thank you so much. If you've watched this whole video, thank you. It truly means the world to me. If you would please like it, comment on it, share it. It will help us get seen more. We have been working really hard to build a couple platforms and learn these platforms to the best of our ability so we can start teaching people how to do what we are doing. How to earn money from home or anywhere in the world. How to not only help your businesses that you already have, but to create even more multiple long-term passive income streams where you are creating new things. If you are interested in any of that, let me know in the comments, message me, reach out to me on any of my social medias. You can even go to our website, vandysdesigns.com, on the contact page and fill something out, or you can just message us, guys. If you'd like to come on and talk about any of these topics with me, reach out to me. You can even go to the website and let me know there. You can hit my email right there at the bottom. Well, I guess it is at the bottom of this one. My email is vandy81protonmail.com. You can message me there, guys. I am truly trying to learn from y'all as well. So I truly hope that when I do these videos, you guys hear me out, obviously. But I do truly hope that it opens your heart to dig more. Not to just, I don't know how to put it. I can't remember when that spark came under me, but it has never gone away. And for that, today, I'm truly grateful, guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please share this and let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. And I will absolutely love to talk with any of you guys on it. So you guys have a wonderful day. God bless. Thank you.